Hey Diana, my name's Justin. Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast. How are you?
Justin, I love your background. Looks
Thank you. It's a little messy. I've been kind of organizing some stuff, but I
oh,
really appreciate the opportunity to chat with you today. I'm a huge fan of
oh,
your work. I'm a big fan of Morgan Elsbeth.
oh,
And, with Tales of the Empire, we get to learn more about her past and her drive and her motivation. And I'd love to know how much of Morgan's backstory were you made aware of prior to this series, when you joined, I believe it was The Mandalorian was your first appearance.
yes.
How much of this history were you made aware of?
You know, little by little by little. Classic Dave Filoni. I think he was very strategic in the information he gave me. I knew that she had a brilliant mind and she was responsible for building the Imperial Navy. I just thought,
Mhm.
wow, so she knows how to engineer,
Right.
right? And he then would also tell me about her being a night sister, and I go, oh, wow, and the last time I knew really anything about the Night Sisters was when I was sitting on a couch with my kids watching Clone Wars, right? And a little
Yeah.
bit of so, I had to really carefully, read, you know, kind of guess maybe,
Hmm.
I was at I don't know why I didn't ask, did she see the mask? Or I don't know why, but I just felt that maybe she did. I just assumed she did. And then when it comes to her relationship to Thrawn, I knew that Rosario was going to say, "Where's Thrawn?" Right? Where's
Hmm.
Grand? I started looking at Timothy Zahn's books, and I started assuming that she would have something in common with the other people within Thrawn's circle. So that
Right.
was, in a way, easy for me to kind of tap into that. But then later, when I knew I was going to be doing Ahsoka, I then came upon Ian Convery's book, Bug. And I thought, oh, well, then maybe she's one of these people. I mean, it was always a mystery to
Right.
me. But luckily, I think I was on to the fact that she was probably on Dathomir when all these horrible events happened with General Grievous. And
Yeah.
to confirmed, I was like, wow. And I just love that we see another presentation of Morgan. We see a young Morgan who's connected to her family, her fellow Night Sisters who she loves, and her mom, the relationship with her mom
Mom. Yeah.
in tears. So we know that she has the ability to love others. It's
Right.
just, how is she going to play this game of life in the galaxy,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that what this series does so well, and it has done, and especially with Morgan's characters, it defines her a little bit more. It gives more definition to where we see her in live action, which is so great about these sort of tales of the Jedi and Empire series.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and given that Morgan is a very unique character, and having spent so much time developing her, are there any lessons that you've learned from her? I know she's a villain, but I know that there's probably, is there anything that you would take away from her? Maybe something that is sort of a way that you would live your own life in a certain way.
Yeah, I love that question because I think we understand that even though her armor is anger and revenge, there is a vulnerability to her. You know,
Hmm.
by losing her people and trying to find her place in the galaxy and find acceptance. And it's fascinating that it would be Thrawn to give her that acceptance and
Right.
to recognize her contribution, her brilliant mind. I take away too the fact that she was resilient and that when you have seen something as traumatizing as war or the battles that she saw and experienced and you see for me I felt a lot of empathy for her, and I
Right.
just wow, this interesting parallelism between her and even going back to Ahsoka. They both had seen terrible things and terrible events, but yet still Ahsoka was able to make certain choices and walk a path for the force of good
Hmm.
versus Morgan, who just felt like she had it's the ends justifies the means, and she's going to somehow figure out a way to restore, Dathomir and the Night Sister somehow, which we see in Ahsoka.
Yeah, and I I love that because like I don't really think of Morgan as a villain, to be honest. Like I know she's depicted that way, but I think it's really just about motive and intention. And maybe it's just the way she has an outlook on things, but her commitment, her passion, her drive, it's there. I could see that as being tangible things that anyone would want to inspire to.
If you go back
Um,
to line that Dave wrote,
yeah,
I'm a survivor. She really is.
yes,
She is
yeah.
literally a survivor, you know.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, Diana, thank you so much for taking the time to join us again on the Geekcentric podcast. Again, I'm a huge fan of your work. I'm a huge fan of your character, and it's just so great to see more of her in this animated series. Bravo.
Oh,
Thanks again.
thanks for putting in my home.
Hey, Meredith, my name's Nate. Thank you so much for joining me on the Geekcentric podcast today. How are you
Hi,
doing?
Nate. Nice to meet you. I'm doing great.
Good to hear. I'm a big fan of your work as Barriss in the Clone Wars and now here in Tales of the Empire.
I
It's so
mean,
exciting to see her again.
it's so exciting to see her again. Fans have been wondering what's been happening with her, after she got jailed for her actions back in the Clone Wars. I think people are wondering, like, did she fall to the dark side? Is she, what's going to happen with her? And now we see her in jail at the very beginning, and we find out what is in store for her. Dave Filoni created an incredible arc for this character. Um, she's got a lot of choices she needs to make. They're very conflicting choices. I think
Yeah.
she's been sort of stewing in prison in her deep feelings about her behavior. Does she want to change it? Does she want to lean into it? It's interesting.
But she's so unique in the sense that like I agree with her and I think the fans agree with her on a lot of things, but just maybe the way she went about things wasn't the right way. Is there
Exactly. Even
yeah,
Ahsoka sort of believed in some of the things that she had
yeah.
said. I don't think anyone's happy with how she went about it. But I think when you're caught up in moments of like you have this intense morality, you believe in your vision so strongly that you will do anything it takes, even if it is the wrong way to handle things.
Well, I mean, maybe not by handling things the wrong way, but is there, getting to explore the character a little more, is there anything that you've taken away from your time as Barriss that maybe you get to use in your everyday life?
I think Barriss and I are, other than, doing things the wrong way, maybe making poor choices, we're pretty similar. I think we both have this like very intense desire to do what's right. I think, there's a deep disdain for political power where there's like hubris involved.
Mhm.
Um, I think, she's got a morality to her that I love, that she knows who she is. She's
Mhm.
not doing things that other people want her to do. I think even when she was a learner, a Padawan learner under Luminara and Dooley, and she's going by the book and she's very conservative in her peacekeeping teachings that she's learning. I think she's always wanting to do the right thing, always.
I love that. I love that. And I'm glad that yeah, you always want to do the right thing and you seem to be given the opportunities that you get to do. If I'm going to just be under the assumption that you like text Dave all the time and like, if he ever messaged you back and was like, "I've got some writer's block. I need to
Can
know,
I come
can
up
you
with an
tell me
idea?
what's the next Tales of series?" What would you tell him?
It's going to be like a Thelma and Louise situation with Ahsoka and Barriss going
Oh,
off having adventures together.
I love that. I love that. I love that because like, oh man, that would be so cool. And I would love to see them interact again.
I feel like we need to see them. I think they have a lot to talk about. I
Yeah,
think they have a lot to download on what's been going on in their lives. I think there's a lot of emotional things that need to be resolved for them.
yeah, yeah. And I know your husband Patton is also a huge Star Wars fan. I was thinking like a Tales of the Cantina, get him in there as like a
Oh,
comedian, right? At the cantina,
oh,
I think
that's
would be
brilliant.
great.
Listen, he would love it. He has not done anything in the Star Wars universe. And as the nerd that he is, he's highly jealous. It's incredible. I love it.
Awesome. Okay, I think I'll wrap by asking one more question here. I saw in a Q&A that you mentioned that this might have been at one point, but brain worms was one of your favorite episodes of the original Clone Wars series. Is there a specific episode of the ones with Barriss in this series that you are most excited for fans
in
to
this
see?
new series?
Yeah.
Oh, every episode has something so strong. Honestly,
Yeah.
is there, the end, the sort of toward the end of the last episode, there's so much emotional, deep stuff happening. It's heartbreaking and beautiful, but every single episode I love the fight scene. The whole thing is good. I just love it so much. I can't pick one.
No, it must be too difficult, but it's all fantastic. You're fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Barriss is such a phenomenal character, and I want to see more of her. I know you do too, right? So I just text Dave right now. And
Dave
let him know.
Filoni, please more Barriss.
Come on, let's go. Awesome. Thank you
so
much.
I think the fans are pretty good about asking him for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll message him. Yeah,
okay,
we'll take care of it together.
Awesome.
All right.
May the fourth be with you.
Oh, may the fourth be with you.